Topaz, which has a rainbow of colors, and citrine, prized for its charming yellow and orange hues.
Both are known to have calming energies while bringing fortune and warmth to you.
Topaz and citrine are affordably priced.
Only at the Gold and Diamond Source.
It's the good, the bad,
Possibly a murderer?
and the funny of the single scene.
Yeah, you young people don't talk about that.
Listen,
I want just to text back.
laugh, and get your love life on track. This is Dating in America with Sarina Fazan.
Hi, everyone. I am Sarina Fazan, and welcome to Dating in America, a show that talks about love and navigating the single life, which apparently could be pretty tough. Joining me in the studio today, we have 27-year-old Emily Christian and 49-year-old Mendy Jones. Thank you so much for being here, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Oh, absolutely. Okay, share a little bit about yourself. What do you do, Em?
So I am actually a licensed health advisor. I am licensed in about 13 states, but growing. So I definitely am here to help people with their insurance. So
Congratulations on that.
And I am a licensed massage therapist, 27 years, and I practice in Seminole.
Wonderful. And so clearly, both very successful,
Yes.
and you guys are both single.
yeah.
Yes.
Single with maybe some dating disasters.
Yes.
Let's start with you.
Well, I ended up going on a date with a gentleman that I matched with on a dating site. And we had a couple dates, and the second or third date, I believe, we went to Oak and Stone, downtown St. Pete, and had a great meal, great dinner, great conversation. And we came out, and his vehicle was gone.
Gone?
Gone. So, of course, we thought maybe it had been towed or something had happened, or we weren't quite sure. So he called the police because he thought, well, maybe it was stolen. And it turns out he got it repossessed while we were on the date. They had been chasing him, trying to find him.
Repossessed.
And I
Oh my
had to
gosh.
take an Uber to get home from my date. It was terrible. And very embarrassing for him, but definitely a dating disaster. I did not want to go out with him again.
Yeah, so that was done. That was done.
Done.
But what was funny, because we want to hear Emily's next story, you, on date one, though, he took you to a very fancy steakhouse.
Very fancy steakhouse and had a great dinner. We were sitting across the table from each other and looking at our menus, and he said, "What you don't know about me is that I have very expensive taste." And proceeded to order the most expensive Wagyu steak on the menu, which was very ironic considering the next date his car was repossessed.
So clearly he's paying for fancy dinners, but not making his car payment.
Not making his car
Wow.
payment. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
the financial
There you
stability
go.
there was not there.
Was not there. Okay. Ken, what about you, Em?
Oh man. So I actually also met someone on a dating app. I don't know what it is with these dating apps. My
Yes.
goodness. But it was our first date, and I was meeting him at a bar. And we had like one of these little corner window seats, and he ended up showing up, and already I could tell that he was already inebriated. And it was just kind of like a disappointment, because who shows up already
Drunk,
drinking? Yeah, on their
right?
first date.
Yeah.
And so I'm sitting there and we're talking, and unfortunately, like, the conversation is already ebbing, because I don't really want to continue with him, and he's not able to keep sentences and everything straight line. So I go to the bathroom, and it happens that when I come back, he's at the bar talking to another girl.
Oh my gosh.
And so I'm standing there literally just in shock, like, okay. And so I go back to sit down at the table, and I'm like waiting for him to come back so I can be like, I'm gonna head out and go home so I don't have to be here anymore. And he literally comes to the table with the girl, grabs his stuff, and then leaves with the girl that he was talking to at the bar, and just leaves me there. I was so shocked that I couldn't even say anything.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Did he also leave you with the bill?
Yeah, he did.
Oh my goodness.
So he stiffed you with the bill
Yep.
and actually leaves with another girl.
Yes.
Okay.
Talk about a slap in the face, let me tell you.
Right. Okay, is dating really that bad nowadays?
Well, I think honestly it is, there was, a big giant pool of people. It's kind of like reduced down to a tiny little raindrop, because there's just not a lot of good quality people that I have met at my age. I've already been married and divorced. So I think that the type of people, the amount of people who are good quality, dateable types of people are not readily available, unfortunately.
So, we're old enough, here to be Emily's mom.
Yes.
Right? So, yes, we can be off the record, we are old enough to be Emily's mom. So, but is dating that bad at your age too?
It is tricky, only because I think there's just so many expectations about what to look for in your partner nowadays.
Very
that
true.
the communication on what you should be expected to be as a couple is so just skewed nowadays. Like, everyone wants to be the perfect couple. Everyone wants to not have those fights and have that growth that's actually supposed to happen between couples. They want to look good on the social media, and they want to sound good to their friends when they're bragging about, you know, their relationships. But all in all, like, you're not actually there growing as a partner. And so finding someone with the same mindset as you that actively wants to be in a relationship to physically and mentally grow with is a lot harder, in my experience, since I've started like putting myself out there in the dating pool.
Very true, and my experience is kind of similar, but it's more so it's easy access to the next person, especially on some of the social media or the dating sites. It's like, well, if I don't have the right conversation, then they just move on to the next person, because that next person is going to, it's almost the thrill of getting that person to talk to you on these dating sites sometimes. And so, you know, the conversation will start. I'll think I'm being very clever, and they respond back, you know, pretty normally, and the banter is really good, and then all of a sudden, nothing. It's just, I don't want to say ghosting, but it's just very, they move on to the next person, and there's so much availability for that it's hard to connect with someone and stay connected. Even when you meet, you know, you kind of feel like, okay, there's always another person. There's always another person.
There's too many flavors of ice cream out there.
Yes,
basically.
exactly.
Yes,
and
yeah.
you want to try one. You want to try all of them.
Yeah.
So.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with the ghosting thing, though, have you guys found that? I mean, there was a woman on the show that said she dated a guy for 2 or 3 months, and then all of a sudden vanished.
Yeah.
Is ghosting that common?
He was probably married. That's more
That would
common
make
than you
sense,
can imagine, but
actually.
he was probably married.
Yeah.
It is definitely a thing. And again, it's too many flavors of ice cream. There's lots of people out there who will give, you know, that person whatever they're looking for, and just it just can be incredibly disappointing. You put yourself out there, and then you think that it's a great connection, and then it just doesn't happen. Nothing happens, and so then you start to question your own self, and is it me? And it's really not me. And one of the biggest disappointing things for me is I feel I'm a really great catch. I'm nice, I'm kind, I do all these fun things. I'm very active, I like adventure. I won't say no to much. And trying to find somebody to match that level of energy has been difficult.
Has been difficult.
Yes.
Well, and before we go to the break, how about, are you feeling the same thing? And, you know, hearing Mendy speak, does that discourage you?
No, it encourages me because I just know I have to work harder, because I know my person's out there. Everyone has their person, and just spending time finding that person to make sure it's the right one is just something that I'm going to have to put myself out there for.
I love that, because I am a true
I just
believer.
got chills.
Yeah, I know. I got chills. I am a true believer, too, in true love. Okay, on that note, we're going to go to a quick break. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be right back.
Thinking about getting engaged, planning to upgrade your wedding ring, or finally getting that Rolex?
The Golden Diamond Source can help you in many ways.
You can start a layaway plan for only 10% down and 6 monthly payments.
Take advantage of our 3 to 5 year interest-free financing.
Or you can trade in your old broken jewelry and use it towards a new purchase.
Come to the Golden Diamond Source and find that perfect gift for the ones that you love.
Gems with Them is our way to share knowledge about gemstones.
November has 2 birthstones to choose from: topaz, which comes in a rainbow of colors and is the 4th anniversary stone.
Citrine is the most desired, with its rich orange imperial color, and is a 13th anniversary stone.
With the holiday approaching, gemstones make wonderful gifts at any time of the year.
To learn more, follow us on social media or go to goldendiamond.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Dating in America. I am here with Emily, Christian, and Mendy Jones. Thank you both so much for being here. And you guys had never met each other before coming on the show.
We had never met, but I feel connected to her now. So
Well, that's what we love seeing. And
Yes.
you guys met, and I know you met here, but you both belong to the same Facebook group.
Yes.
What Facebook group is that?
that's I Love St. Pete. Yes.
And I have to say, we have a little connection here because, Emily, you moved here from Washington State. I'm from Seattle.
Oh, I'm actually from Renton.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. So, okay, so you both joined this Facebook group about St. Pete. We've had many people on the show, and we have people, you know, watching, very thankfully, all over the country and now even some parts of the world. Is dating in Florida impossible compared to other states?
That's probably Emily's question because she lived in a different state. I've lived here for a long time.
For a long time.
Man. Personally, I don't think it's any different. I've actually seen a lot more active people on any social media that I go onto looking for potential dates here in Florida than in Washington. Washington is a lot more, I want to say, secluded in their thoughts. Like, there's a lot of boaters and there's a lot of hunters and stuff, but down here, everyone's at the beach, everyone's going out and experiencing city life and going to see the manatees and Weeki-Wachi, and it's just really cool to be able to make those connections with people that are that active. But all in all, I think it's roughly about the same, to be honest.
Well, if people are, and we have heard because of the weather here, people are more out and about. If there are so many people out and about, why do people say it's tougher to meet somebody organically? Because we've heard that a lot, right? Like we've heard, oh, it's the dating apps. What about meeting organically? Do you guys still believe in that?
You know, it's interesting that you say that because 2 years ago, I started a paddleboard group in Pinellas County. I had bought a paddleboard because I needed a hobby because I had just recently been divorced and I was trying to figure out what to do with myself when my kids were with their dad. And I ended up starting Pinellas Paddlers, and we have a Facebook page, and it grew from 100 people that first week to 5,000 people now.
5,000?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
But the downside is that our demographics are 75% women and 25% men. So the men have a 1 in 3 chance of finding a woman, but the women have a little harder time. So, but it grew very organically, like you said, and I thought for sure I would find somebody in that paddleboard group who liked the same things I did, who loved to be on the water, who loved to be active and exercise. And I had met some connections, but nothing has really stuck. So,
well, I think we need to tell the guys out here to join this group,
yes,
right?
Pinellas Paddlers. Yep.
Pinellas Paddlers.
On Facebook.
Pinellas Paddlers,
Yes.
guys. We had Jen Bingham on from Cruise Sellers, and she said, so it's like a wine and cheese, you know, they have several locations. It's wonderful. She said 75% of their clientele that goes in are women. So, guys, these are the places to meet some of the girls. All right. So speaking, though, of meeting someone, what is the first thing that you look for in a partner?
Their empathy.
What is it?
Their empathy.
Empathy.
Yes.
Empathy for you.
Empathy for me and the people around and their surroundings. I don't want someone who's extremely self-absorbed in their life that they can't think about the people around them and the people that they're connected to.
Yeah, very
Big on
true.
families.
Very true. Kindness. I have noticed one gentleman I dated in particular was very rude to service workers, and that was, I have 2 boys who work in the service industry, and I couldn't, it was too much for me. I just, to be rude to a service person, just, you know, I want kindness, and I want a good heart, and I want, you know, someone who is going to care about other people and not be so self-absorbed like you're saying.
Yeah, and you know, honestly, that with the service people, that does go a long way because, you know, I waitress and bartender for 6 years too. You never know what people are going through. And my parents always taught me, you treat the CEO the same way you treat the person that's the cleaning crew. You know?
Absolutely.
I just think that's important as well. All right, because I'm asking some of these fun questions that we put together. All right. I know we live in this. You both are very successful. And I know women are trailblazers now. We're, you know, we're out there. But do you still like it when a guy, or should a guy, pay on the first date? Going back to being old-fashioned.
I think that in my age bracket, my demographic that I date, I think that still is very much a thing. I think the man feels that he should be the one to pay. You know, if you were to ask my sons, they probably would say we would go Dutch, or she would pay one time and I would pay another time, which, you know, that's kind of the younger generation.
No, that's interesting. How old are your kids?
I have a 20-year-old and an 18-year-old who are both in college, and then I have 2 younger kids that are in middle school. Yes.
And you look fabulous, by the way.
Thank
Again,
you.
49 and fabulous.
Thank you.
Okay, but that's interesting. So your sons would say, go Dutch, or one pays one pays the other. But you feel?
I think it's pretty across the board the norm for my age bracket for the man to pay. I think they feel that that's the right thing to do. I've never been in a situation where the gentleman didn't pay. So I think that's kind of just how it is for my age category.
Emily, at 27, what would you say?
Besides that awful first date that I already told
That
you
you were
about,
stiff?
I've actually been very blessed to have a lot of my my first dates being taken over by my male partner, and they have. Usually it's a communication for me and my partner. If I am interested in going on dates with them, I'll definitely talk to them beforehand to see what they're comfortable with, because I'm not going to expect them to pay for me. Because like if there's a 50-50, we need to like split the check, or if I need to take all of it and we have that communication beforehand, and then he gets the next check. If we go out on a second date, if we get to that point in communication, that's 100% okay with me.
Okay, so but how do you broach it? So even before you go out on the date, do you discuss that? And who brings it up?
I'll bring it up.
You will?
I will, yes.
Okay, so how do you bring it up? What do you say?
Let me start. If you were my partner, I'd be like, okay, so I know that we're going out to eat. I really just want to make sure what your comfortability level is with potentially handling the bill. Do you want to split it? Do you want to take all of it? Do you want me to take all of it and you can get the next one? How do you feel about this? And usually they'll be like, oh yeah, no, I got you. And I've been very blessed to, have them take over it.
Wow, and is this through the conversation, like in a dating app, prior to even going out on the date, as you said?
Yeah.
Prior to going on the date. Okay, so I have to absorb that, absorb. Mindy, as you hear that, what are you thinking?
I think that that's a good indicator for Emily whether or not this is going to be a good guy, because I mean I am a little traditional and old-fashioned in the sense that I feel like the guy should pay. He's asking you out on the date. That's kind of traditional, but I know it's not so much traditional nowadays, but I think that's a good thing.
It's it's a changing world, right?
Yes.
And we had two women on the show just recently that said that we, no matter the age we are the pioneers of this new dating world. And I don't know, that resonated with me. Yeah. Again, very successful women, of course. But you've already talked about this, Em, which gave us chills before the commercial break. Mindy, do you believe that your person's out there?
I do believe my person's out there. I don't think that I don't think I should be alone. I think I have a lot to offer somebody, and I think it's out there. I just have to pay attention to the red flags and the gut feeling, which I kind of like to see how red the flags get. My girlfriends tease me all the time and say, it's like you like to go to a carnival. But I like to see how red they can get, because I am a very empathetic person, and so I always give a second chance. Even the gentleman who we talked about earlier who got his car repossessed, I felt terrible for him. And my girlfriend's like, you're not going on another date, are you? And I said, well, she says, no, you're not. So, I am very much in that way. But my person's out there. I just have to find that person who likes to be active and fun and enjoys adventure and just loves to live life. And hopefully they're there.
And you never know. We've actually, we haven't brought them back on yet, but we've actually introduced some people who have met because they've watched the show. Isn't that romantic?
That
I think
is
that's
so
romantic. So as we wrap up, you do want to get married, don't you? Or do you want to be married?
I want a family. I want to be married. I want to have children. It's just the timing and finding my partner. I am not going to rush into this, because if I get married, I want it to be a lifelong commitment. I will die with my next partner that I get married to. And
I know.
I love it. It's so refreshing to hear.
Right?
So refreshing.
There's so much nowadays where you find someone and it's so easy for them to leave you. And it's like, where's that connection gone that you feel wholly and ultimately in love? Like, this is your last person, no matter what you go through, that you will want by your side at the end of the world.
I'm going home to watch The Notebook right now.
I know.
I'm watching The Notebook right now.
And that's what I want, because I want someone who will wholly have my back, and I want to be that person to support, going through everything that they could potentially experience in life. And I'm successful right now, and I'm doing a huge change in my career, but it's also to make sure that I have an empire that we could potentially stand on together as well. Because I'm not expecting them to take on everything 100%. I'm going to give 100% if they can give 100%. 200% in the marriage. It's not a 50-50.
Future leaders of America, too. And so,
absolutely.
On that note, as we close out, you have been married once before.
I have been married.
Would you like to be married again?
I would consider being married again. I don't necessarily have to have it, because I have done it, but if my partner wanted to get married, I definitely would love to do that. And, I think while I was in my marriage, I was a good wife, and it just didn't work out, and that's okay, because, there's got to be somebody out there who it will work out with. So I would get married again, sure, if the right person asked me, absolutely. Who doesn't want to sit on the couch and do nothing but go have fun and be adventurous? I have to have adventure.
Well, we love your positivity. And hey, we say to the audience, if you would like to be on one of our shows, Dating in America, Love in America, On the Record, please reach out to us. Share your story. Send your email to production@redhousestreaming.com. We also like to share the positive stories on social media. We're on every single platform. We're also on Roku with some major announcements coming in 2023. Once again, though, Mendy, Emily, thank you so much for being here. I believe in positivity. I believe in true love. And let's put the positive vibes out there, right?
Positive vibes.
And
Sing
get them,
along.
come back.
Positive vibes. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
The Golden Diamond Source has been in business for nearly 4 decades and is one of the largest family-owned jewelry stores in America.
We have the largest selection of white and fancy colored diamonds and gemstones you'll find anywhere.
We also have private areas for VIP viewings.
Only at the Golden Diamond Source.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sarina Fazan of the Sarina Fazan Network, brought to you by Red House Streaming. We are committed to helping those impacted by Hurricane Ian. You can see the unprecedented damage caused after Ian made landfall just short of a Category 5 storm. So many lost their lives. Thousands are without homes as a massive recovery mission is underway. We are teaming up with the Red Cross. Please join us in this rebuilding effort. It's as simple as scanning the QR code or following the link below. Stay safe.